is a brand actually for us as we think about it? Is it a color? Is it a logo? Is it a font? It's probably actually not only a combination of all those things, but really a strong brand for us is all about shared values. What type of emotion can you really evoke? What type of reaction are you getting from your customers? How do they feel and move and cooperate in the mission that you're trying to build for? But what is a really good brand? At the end of the day, a really great brand has to be consistent. That type of aspect is what you saw earlier is really, really hard to actually achieve in your everyday business. And all of the materials that you push out, the campaigns that you run, the brand that you're trying to evoke from a talent perspective, from the business numbers, again, that you're trying to hit, your sales teams, what does that actually look like? An example of this is Coca-Cola. I think everybody in this room knows about Coke. The little can, the red logo, 94% of the world actually knows exactly what the Coca-Cola logo is. But Coke for them is, it's not just about the cans that you see on the shelf. The Coke brand itself evokes a sense of love, of caring, of community, Americana. I myself know I am commonly across the office saying I only drink Coke products and clearly buy into the image that they're trying to portray for themselves. And obviously that's something that translates into business values too at the end of the day. For Coca-Cola, their brand is valued at $80 billion, which is a quarter of what their market cap looks like. And it's something that they themselves also recognize as being absolutely critical to the viability of the business over generations. And so what does it take to be a consistent brand again? If we examine all the different aspects of what you do on a day-to-day business, there's multiple different channels. We just have two up here, social and email, and all the different platforms that you also have to think about building for and creating for. Desktop, mobile, tablets, the list goes on. Look at this. This is just a sampling, not only across marketing, your people teams, your sales teams, everywhere in terms of how you interact with the customer, there's multiple different touch points that you have to be thinking about constantly across the board. And so how do you actually do that? It's actually a really complicated, long design process. Here we've tried to break it down in terms of what the design process looks like today. It's already 10 steps. This is what most companies actually go through. And it's not the simplest or the easiest aspect to run through, especially from a designer's perspective. The key pieces that we've highlighted are the design and the revision aspect of the process. This is where designers engage with the rest of the business and all these other stakeholders going back and forth around what is a good-looking campaign, what is a good-looking piece of content, what is that? And for us, this is usually what it kind of looks like. Please see attached, like correct this bullet point in line in blue, it looks like this, and it's a lot of back and forth. How do I upload? How do I download? How many people have desktop with this? Final. Which one of these is it exactly? And it's not really the most fun experience for anybody at the end of the day. And also, we use so many different apps that we have across the board. Every single team is using a different form of tool, and that's something that also continues to complicate and make the process way more laborious than what it really needs to be. And so this is probably the image of what most of you are like every day at work, and especially for the design team where they're trying to help you out every day and all of their teammates around how do you actually create this internal poster, how do you update little bits and pieces of copy. But at the end of the day, that's not really the core design work and the skills that they actually have to really be able to help accelerate the business. And so this is where Canva for us, what we're trying to really help. And our mission is around empowering everybody to be able to design at the end of the day. And for us, the Canva for Enterprise suite, we just launched this a little over 3 months ago, is around how do we make sure everybody is able to stay on brand and be consistent across what we talked about earlier, colors, logos, fonts, the day-to-day things that you have to update in order to really be able to collectively build what your business is, what your brand actually looks like. So who are we trying to empower here? We're trying to empower the designers every day to stay on brand, to enable them to create the templates that they need to be able to hand down to the rest of the downstream team, so that way everybody else is also able to create content as quickly as possible. We're trying to empower our marketing teams to actually stay on brand, where they're able to make changes on the fly as soon as they need a new campaign for the latest aspects of what happens month to month, quarter to quarter, year over year that you expect. And also empowering sales teams to stay on brand. Think about all the times where you have to update a pitch deck when you're on the fly, on your phone, with a customer live. And that's, at the end of the day, for us, what we're trying to gear at Canva, which is empowering everybody to be able to collaborate. For us, the fruits, we've been very lucky to be able to share not only with the Australian market, but also globally with the world, where 25 million people are already using Canva every single month, and we're creating 110 million plus designs every single month too as well, which is crazy in terms of the amount of content, and also just the number of people still left in the world who are not yet on Canva. And so this is what we're focusing on in terms of updating and making as easy, integrated, seamless as possible of overall design process and content creation process. So what can you actually create? Marketing campaigns, social media posts, brochures, posters, presentations, pretty much anything you can possibly think of on a day-to-day. With Canva for Enterprise, we take all that goodness in Canva already and also bring alive team templates that are really easy to be able to reuse. We also enable you to be able to lock down the elements of the template so that way you can just replace content and use the drag and drop editor that we actually have to just one click, put it in, boom, updated. Also, you can remove any content that itself isn't on brand anymore, so that way it's everything that you put out is check the box, and you can avoid all those copies of final. And finally, all of your content then sits all in one place in Canva, so you don't have to go back and forth between all the different other tools that you use every day in order to do your job. And then you also get comments and feedback in the more team collaboration aspect, where now you don't have to, again, kind of figure out how do I find the person sitting next to me to review my design. You can just send it all at once and get instant feedback, or around the globe, around the clock, depending on where your workforce actually is. The design approval process ensures that you get that right feedback from the right people. And ultimately, at the end of the day, again, we are beginning to integrate as seamlessly as possible with as many other businesses too. Okta did a survey where large organizations have about 200 different apps that they utilize on a day-to-day basis. Small businesses, 70. So it's absolutely critical that we're all able to be able to work across all of these new platforms, especially with companies completely shifting over into the cloud over time. But it's not just me saying it up here. We also have customers who can help bring this to life in terms of the day-to-day workflow. So take a step back and watch this video from one of our customers.
Realty Austin was founded in 2004 by husband and wife co-founders Jonathan and Yvette Boatwright. We have 6 office locations throughout Austin.
You know, we have 550 agents, so being able to scale things is very big for us.
Realty Austin really identified that we needed a solution that empowered our agents to be able to use beautifully designed listing collateral, something that they could customize themselves.
Prior to Canva, we were just really having to do a lot of email exchange, going back and forth, you know, on what they're wanting and looking for.
And Jonathan Boatwright identified Canva as a solution that not only our print designers and marketing team could use, but we could actually empower and release it to our agents for them to plug into their business. We've noticed that agents who maybe felt a little hesitant at first to design their own graphics or templates found Canva to be something so easy to use.
It's really easy to navigate as an individual. It gives you all the templates and all the formats and all different ideas for what you want to create.
Since our agents do like to customize things, Canva has helped us do that while also being able to protect our brand.
I don't have to worry about the font. I don't have to worry about the colors. I just go there and choose from the templates that the marketing department had already created for us.
We've noticed a huge growth in our agents' online and social media presence. Really makes the clients feel confident that they are with the best agents in Austin. Canva has been a huge game changer in our ability to plug in more with our agents.
They roll out webinars to teach us how to do it, the different ideas, and how you can implement it, either if you are going to use Canva for print materials or for social media. Realty Austin roll it out in a way that for us was very easy to adapt.
As a core designer here at Realty Austin, I really do care a lot about having really beautifully designed marketing pieces, and Canva has really helped not only me create them, but also empowering our agents to create just really beautiful templates as well.
I love Canva because it's easy to learn, easy to teach, and it can make anything pretty.
Canva Enterprise has been very good for us, especially for quick turnaround times. We just started implementing and testing the new approval workflow with our agents, and that has proven very effective in being able to approve designs and keep them on brand.
I always think back and I don't know what we were doing before Canva.
Realty Austin loves Canva.
That's essentially what you want to hear from your customers, right? For Realty Austin, they have 500 plus folks in the field on a day-to-day, and you want to be able to enable them to work from wherever, essentially, in front of their customers or whether they're in the office, and keep that process going as quickly and as seamlessly as possible. For us, we also have another customer in China, Honeymoon Dessert, where they have over 7,000 employees that they want to be able to use and just drag and drop and update all of their designs that they have in all of their stores. Whether it's a poster or a flyer or a special on a day-to-day, this is something that is really critical for them to make sure it's the exact same thing across every single one of their locations. So we want to take a look at what Honeymoon Dessert does too as well.
The first Honeymoon Dessert store was opened back in 1995 in Hong Kong. Over the past 25 years, it has grown to become one of the most famous dessert brands in China, operating over 500 stores with over 7,000 employees.
At Honeymoon Dessert, our brand vision is to create memories of happiness to every customer through consistent high-quality products, great experience in our store, extensive successful marketing items. Brand is our most valuable asset. We launch a lot of new products and marketing campaigns every year. We should make sure our brand stay consistent across all our stores and all marketing materials. But it's a challenge for us to manage hundreds of stores and thousands of employees in such a big country like China.
On Canva, Honeymoon Dessert has established a centralized brand kit, including logos, colors, and fonts, etc. All product images are cropped with the same margins, so when they are dragged and dropped in a design, the proportions stay consistent. Most used designs have been turned into templates, such as opening posters, menus, and combos and specials. If a store manager needs to create a poster for a product combo promotion, it can be done really easily by selecting a template, finding the product on promotion, and switching the design content without having to go through the designers. It has not only made design much simpler, but ensured brand stays consistent across the board.
Canva has certainly helped us to manage our brand at scale and empower us to make marketing promotion more efficient, which one day it become the default marketing management platform for every brand in China.
So this is another example of how you can actually manage your brand at scale and why it's really important for you to constantly be as consistent as possible. You can do it in China, you can do it here in Australia, you can do it in the US and in Europe, all over the world. So for us, we want to be core to what our actual final mission is for us, which is ultimately empowering everyone to design. And that is hopefully what we've been able to evoke over time, and also similar lessons for you all to be able to take back to your teams in terms of how do we create the best possible workflow, so that way all of your customers are also able to really understand, come back, and be loyal to your brand. And ultimately, that's also going to help accelerate what your business is able to do.